Hey, Pink Sox. This is Coach Charles with probably our last video of the season, if you believe it. It's been a crazy season this year. We are ending this weekend in Woodbine. We're playing a rematch against the Dragons, and that's the team we played our first time out. All right, we barely got beaten by this team. All right, first time out. They're bigger than us. They've got more experience. They throw fast. All right. Well, first time around, we didn't know what to do. We weren't sure yet. We weren't sure of our bats. Now we know. We're swinging the bats better. We're fielding the ball better. So what we're going to do is swing, right? Like we've been talking about. Don't let them intimidate you. It's going to be a wide strike zone like it has been, all right? Not everything is a strike, but you can't be as picky. You can't just wait for that magical pitch, all right? So I want to get used to swinging. These girls do throw fast. They don't throw as fast as the girls we saw when we played in Brunswick, okay? They're kind of somewhere in between the team that we played the last time, the Tornadoes, and the Brunswick team, right? They're a little closer to the Tornadoes than they are to Brunswick, all right? So don't freak out. Just get up there, see the ball, and swing, all right? That's why on Friday night practice, we're going to try and do a quick practice down and dirty, all right? We've been doing the last couple of weeks have been fun. We've had some of you in the field. We've had some of you on the bases. We've had all of you bat. This time I want to do something a little bit quicker so that we're not wasting time getting gear on. I don't want you also too tired out Friday night because Saturday morning we have an early game at Woodbine. It's a 9 o'clock reporting time, all right? So I want to make sure that you girls get some batting practice in without having to run around and stuff like that and have your mind filled with too much stuff on Friday night. So the plan is going to be Friday night, I'm going to pitch to you. I can't pitch underhand. I just don't know how, all right? So I'm going to pitch overhand. I'm not going to be throwing super fast, but I'm going to be throwing faster than you'll see from Coach Jose when he comes in. All right, and the reason we're doing that is just to get you used to starting to swing at a ball that's coming in faster. After a couple of pitches, Coach Jose will come in and he'll toss you some underhand ones like you'd see when he comes in to pitch during a game if you get 4 balls. All right, but remember, in a game, you can't rely on Coach to come in. He's not going to always be there as a safety net because if you just stand there and don't swing, they can get 3 called strikes and then you're out. All right, so don't wait. Don't try and, obviously the ball is up here, it's all the way down on the floor. Don't chase those. But if that ball is in that good middle zone, take a hack. All right, a good, strong, solid swing. You feel contact, you take off. All right, 2 things I wanted to talk about going into the game is about being mentally ready and being prepared in the field and at the plate. There are 3 things, okay? One of them is about a video clip that I posted during a Mets game about 2 weeks ago, right? Player for the Mets, Robinson Cano. He was at the plate, he hit the ball, it bounced down, and then it bounced in front of the plate. The catcher, he reached up while the ball was still in fair territory, and he threw the ball down to second base because there was a runner at first base. So the runner going to second base was out. It's a force play. Robinson Cano, instead of running as hard as he could to first base on contact, he stood still and was arguing with the umpire and trying to figure out if the ball was fair or foul. So while he's standing there doing nothing, the second baseman sees this. He just makes an easy toss over the first base, and there's a double play. Now, if Cano had been running out of the box from the get-go, chances are, just based on the arm strength of the fielders, he was probably still going to get doubled up. Was probably still going to be able to go second to first base, double play. But that's not the point. The point is that he didn't hustle out of the box. He just waited there, stood still, and was talking to the umpire while the ball was still live. All right? Those are mistakes we don't want to make, okay? Another thing that we saw was in our game last Tuesday against the Smash. They made 2 critical errors that wound up leading to 2 runs for us. We can't do that, and the other teams don't want to do that, but we were able to take advantage of it. We were down, hadn't scored any runs. Soli was on third base, Victoria was on second base, okay? The ball was hit, but it wasn't hit anywhere that was able to advance Victoria and Soli to the next base. So Coach Luis held Soli up. She was going to run home. He told her to go back to third. Victoria hadn't seen it, so she was heading to third. You can't have 2 people at the same base. So we told her to run back to second. So she realized what happened, and she started running back to second. The fielders saw this. So they threw the ball, they threw it, they beat her to second base. Girl caught it, no problem, and she was stepping on the bag. Problem is, it wasn't a force play. It was a tag play. So Victoria was able to get back on the base because the girl never made any attempt to tag her. All right? You got to know when there's a force or there's a tag. In case you're ever unsure, you can always tag. You can tag and force. You can do everything. Tagging always works. All right? But if you're unsure and your foot's on that bag and someone's coming near you, tag them anyway, just in case, just to make sure. But that's a situation where it was because the fielder wasn't aware of what was going on. It wasn't a force play because Victoria still had the opportunity to try and run to third, which would have forced solely to try and run to home. We would have had this whole big, crazy going on, but it wasn't a force play, all right? It was definitely a play where it had to be a tag applied. Next batter came up, solely scored. Victoria moved to third. Next batter came up. It was bases loaded. Now, Victoria's in the middle of another play. The ball gets hit and gets thrown to home plate because it's a force at any play at this point, right? Bases loaded. First, second, third, home plate. All you got to do, step on the bag, and there's your out, okay? But what happened was the girl caught the ball at home plate, and she stepped back, and then she was looking around, waiting to see if she can throw, if there was anybody else going to run. She was going to throw another base. She wasn't stepping on the plate, ladies. Her foot missed the plate, so she was about this close from the plate, all right? Her not stepping on the plate and just assuming she had, Victoria was running the entire way. Again, all she had to do was tag Victoria, and then that would have been an out. She would just to make double sure. But because she didn't tag her, Victoria was able to touch the plate, and that counted as a run. That made it, that gave us 2 runs. It would have been, if Victoria's out that first time, if they had just tagged her that first time, we wouldn't have had any runs. That would have been the 3rd out. But because they messed up twice in the field, not knowing about where their feet were and if it was a force or a tag play, they wound up costing themselves 2 runs. In a close game, 2 runs can be everything. The last time we played this Dragons game, the Dragons team, we were up 2-1 going into the final frame. We lost it, with a couple of, fielding errors and stuff like that, and that's fine. But it just goes to show you that sometimes it's not going to be, 10, 15 runs scored. Sometimes 2 runs may be all you get. Sometimes 2 runs may be all you need if your defense and your pitching is tight. All right? So mental awareness. On a more serious note with paying attention, you notice I put you girls in different positions in the field because I want you to get used to seeing the ball from different angles and how to field your position. You need to be aware of the ball when it's hit and when it's in possession of somebody, not after the fact. We don't want to see the ball get hit and you're not reacting until it's passing you or until it's right here because we don't want you to get hurt, okay? If you're not involved in the play, look at where the ball is. Don't just stand still and zone out, okay? Get to your base if you're near a base. Cover a base if you see a base that's open, and look to see where the ball is because you never know what's going to happen. I posted another video clip over the weekend. It was a player out of Texas. College Softball World Series playoffs were on, all right? The ball was hit. The umpire, called it a dead ball, meaning a foul ball is no play. The catcher didn't hear. She was just really quick to her feet. She reached up to grab the ball, and she was already in the process of throwing to second base to try and get the runner from first over to there. So it was too late for her to stop her throw. The pitcher, she saw that it was a dead ball. She let her guard down. She let her guard down, and she was walking off the mound, out of the circle. She crossed right in the path of the throw, and it caught her square in the face, and she hit the ground hard. She's okay, but she had to be hospitalized. And it's the reason why we wear our masks. She wasn't wearing a mask, but it's the reason why we wear our masks and why we want you to always be paying attention to where the ball is because you never know when something like that's going to happen. It was obviously an accident. Her own teammate, threw the ball at her face and felt awful. She didn't mean to do it. It was just one of those freak accidents that can happen. So when we tell you to pay attention out there, there's a reason for it. We're not just doing it just to say it. There's a reason. We don't want you to get hurt. she took a ball that was going full force thrown from maybe about 30 feet away right to the center of her face. And she didn't get up for a while. She was on the floor for a good long time and had to be helped off the field and put into the hospital. Luckily, she's all right. But it was a scary moment for me watching it, as a dad and a coach myself. I was like, ooh, that was awful. My heart stopped for this poor girl. But it was, you wear our face masks and pay attention to where the ball is. I don't care if the ball is hit over the third base and you don't think anything's going to happen to you, like, in left field. We don't want you doing this because you never know. That ball may be being thrown to somebody and you may be needing to back up a base. You may need to be, in the middle of that. Don't zone out in the field. For your safety, ladies, please. I don't want to see a situation like I saw in that game with a girl from Texas. I don't want to see any of you on the floor hurt like that. Okay? One last quick thing. When you're in the field, obviously you're trying to catch the ball with your glove. If the ball has come to a rest, let's say it's past you, it's rolled into the grass, it's stopped moving, and you go to run after it, don't try to pick it up just with your glove. Okay? I know it's tempting because the glove reaches further than your hand does, but unless you have good control with your glove, you can't feel this. This, you can't feel that. This, you can feel in your hands, all right? So if the ball has come to a dead stop, pick it up with your bare hands, with your throwing hands. This enables you to absolutely know that you have the ball for sure, because I've seen some of you try to pick it up like this, and you're not quite sure because you can't feel at the end of the glove that the ball is in there, and you've come up empty, and you have to do it a couple of times. Every time you do that, that wastes a couple of seconds. The other thing is it cuts out a step. Even if you do it right on the first time and come up with the ball, now you have to take your throwing hand, take the ball out of the glove, and throw it forward, instead of just picking it up barehanded and be ready. You're saving yourself steps. We've seen so many times this year where we have been safe or out at a base by a fraction of a second. It's that close. And every second counts, especially when the balls are hit lightly or balls just kind of just chilling there in the field, just not doing anything. Make sure you're attentive. That's why you want to pay attention. Final thing, ball gets popped up. Don't watch it, ladies. Don't just stare at it. Someone get it. Someone call for it. Catch it in the air. If the ball is between you and another person, I don't want everyone to just stand there kind of watching it and not know what to do. Someone own that. Someone take charge. If the ball is coming up the middle, and goes past the pitcher, and second base and the shortstop are both running towards it, one of you needs to say, "Hey, I got this," so the other one covers second base. Because what we don't want to have happen is both of you converge to go get the ball, and then there's nobody covering second base to get the ball thrown to, right? We want to make sure that outfield, left and right center, if you see this situation happen, that's your cue to come in and back up second base. If you see that your second base and shortstop have both been pulled off the bag, we don't want to see everybody running after the same ball because then there's no one left to throw to. So be vocal. Don't be afraid to say, "Hey, I got this. You take second." Not in a bossy way, not in a mean way, but just in a way so that your teammates know. The ball gets hit in the air and everyone's just looking at it. Someone needs to say, "I got it. I got it." And wave everybody off. You'll see that in a baseball game. They'll wave people back. They may say something and get under it. Don't stand there and wait for it. Get under the ball, get ready for it, catch it, and hold it. All right? That's an out. All right? Friday night, last practice. Saturday, our last road game. Next Tuesday, we play the Smash one last time in Wheaton. And then we have our awards dinner next Friday night. And that's the season, ladies. All right? Any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'll see you girls on Friday night. Should be fun, quick. We'll get it done quick. Just hitting, me pitching, Coach Jose pitching, get used to seeing different pitching speeds, and get you loosened up, shake off any of that rust you might have. And we'll go into Woodbine on Saturday, and we'll get some revenge against the Dragons, right? All right. Talk to you later, Pink Sox.